There's something different about the moment you clicked on this video. You're not here by accident, and you're not just passing time. You're searching for something very specific, even if you can't fully name it yet. A way to stop feeling so heavy from trying to control everything. And maybe you've been carrying this weight for longer than you realize. Maybe it's been so constant, so familiar, that you've almost forgotten what it feels like to move through life without this burden pressing on your shoulders, your chest, your entire being. Lately, it seems like you're holding your life with both hands, too tightly. Your knuckles are white from the grip. Your arms are tired from the constant tension. You want things to work out. You want answers, certainties, security. In your mind, you know exactly how everything should be. You've planned it, visualized it, rehearsed it 1,000 times. The conversation should go this way. The relationship should feel that way. The outcome should perfectly match your expectations. But reality refuses to follow the script. Reality has its own timing, its own language, its own path. And the distance between what you expect and what's actually happening is exhausting you more than ever before. There are mornings when you wake up and the first thought isn't "good morning" or "what a beautiful day." It's a mental list of everything you need to monitor, manage, fix, or worry about. Before your feet touch the ground, you're already calculating, already planning, already trying to predict and prevent everything that could go wrong. And you tell yourself, this is responsibility, this is being prepared, this is what adults do. But deep inside you, in a place you rarely visit, you know this isn't preparation. It's prison. A prison you built yourself, brick by brick, rule by rule, fear by fear. Some days you wake up determined, today is the day. It's going to happen now. If I control everything, if I plan everything, if I stay 3 steps ahead, nothing will go wrong. You feel powerful in those moments. You feel like you're finally taking the reins. You make lists, organize, strategically plan. You send the message at just the right time. You say exactly what you should say. You manage the situation with precision. And for a few hours, maybe a few days, it seems to be working. Like you've cracked the code. Like you've finally figured out how to make life bend to your will. Other days you feel exhausted, drained, because the more you try to control, the more things slip through your fingers. The conversation doesn't go as planned. The person doesn't respond as you expected. The outcome has nothing to do with what you visualized. And then comes the thought, quiet but devastating. Maybe the problem is me. Maybe I'm the only one who can't make life work. Everyone else seems to have it all figured out. Everyone else seems lighter, easier, more natural. What's wrong with me? But here's what you need to understand right now, before we continue. There's a very specific reason this message reached you at this moment. Not yesterday, not next month, now. You're entering the most important phase of this entire process. Not the phase where everything works out. Not the phase where you suddenly become calm, enlightened, and free from all anxiety. The phase where you realize you can't live the same way as before. The old patterns, the old strategies, the old attempts to control, predict, and manage every little detail of your existence, they no longer work. And more than that, they're killing something essential inside you. Something that needs space to breathe, to trust, to simply be. You're on the border between 2 versions of life. The old one, based on fear, control, and tension. The version where security means gripping tighter, where love means constant vigilance, where success means never letting your guard down. And the new one, based on trust, detachment, and flow. The version where you surrender completely, but without clinging desperately. Where you do your part and then release the need to control the outcome. Where you trust that life isn't happening to you, but for you, with you, through you. And this border is uncomfortable. That's why it hurts so much. Because you're no longer completely in the old world, but you haven't fully stepped into the new one either. You're between both, and the space between the two is always the hardest. Let me tell you what's really happening to you. Right now, you're living between 2 experiences simultaneously. 2 different realities existing at the same time in your consciousness. And the tension between them is creating most of your pain. On one side is the reality you can see. You trying to plan every detail, predict every risk, avoid every pain. It's the version of you that believes if you relax, everything will fall apart. That if you stop watching, things will go wrong. That if you trust too much, you'll be betrayed, abandoned, disappointed. This version has evidence. It has memories. It has proof that letting your guard down is dangerous. And so, it stays vigilant, always alert, always ready to intervene, fix, control. It's exhausting being this version, but it feels necessary. It feels like survival. On the other side, there's a reality you can't see with your eyes, but you can feel in your chest. A version of you that's lighter, trusts more, doesn't need to control everything to feel safe. This version knows you're held by something greater than your own efforts. This version remembers moments when you let go and things turned out better than you'd planned. This version whispers softly, especially in quiet moments. What if you didn't have to carry all this? What if you could trust? This version exists. It's also you. You feel it in those moments when you manage to let go, when you were too tired to control, or too distracted to worry, or too present to calculate. And, curiously, things flowed better. The problem is the gap between these two versions. That in between is exactly where you are now, and it's confusing, it's disorienting. There are moments when you strongly feel one version. Other moments, the other version takes control. You oscillate between trust and fear, between letting go and holding on, between flowing and controlling. And you judge yourself for this oscillation. You believe it means you're failing, that you're not doing it right, that you're stuck. But what if the oscillation itself is the process? What if moving from one state to another is exactly how you learn to eventually inhabit the new one more fully? Some days, you test the feeling of letting go. You breathe deeply and think, okay, I did my part. I was present. I was honest. I tried. The rest isn't in my hands. And suddenly, without forcing anything, things begin to align. The message arrives. The opportunity appears. The resolution emerges naturally. You feel life cooperating with you instead of resisting. In those moments, you glimpse what it feels like to live without constant tension. And it's not just relief, it's revelation. You think, oh, this is what trust feels like. Other days, fear returns with force. It hits you like a wave you didn't see coming. You feel like you need to take back control immediately, urgently. You have to manage the conversation, the moment, the outcome, the people. You need to check, confirm, make sure. And the weight returns along with the anxiety, the tightness in your chest, the racing thoughts, the inability to be present because you're too busy trying to predict and prevent. And you feel like you've lost all the progress you'd made, like you're back at square one, like you never learned this lesson. But this back and forth doesn't mean you're confused or failing. It means you're learning to let go. And learning isn't neat or linear. Learning is messy. Learning is trying, falling, getting up, and trying again differently. Learning is taking 2 steps forward and 1 back, and sometimes 1 forward and 3 back. But it's movement. It's growth, even when it doesn't look like it. Nobody told you this about detachment. It's not a straight line. It's not like, yesterday I was anxious, today I let go, and now I'll be peaceful forever. That's not how human beings work. That's not how transformation works. It's messy. It's letting go today and clinging again tomorrow. It's trusting one week and doubting the next. It's feeling free for a moment and then scared again an hour later. It's like learning to swim. Sometimes you sink, sometimes you swallow water, sometimes you panic and forget everything you learned. And that's precisely what teaches you to navigate the ocean. The sinking teaches you about buoyancy. The water in your mouth teaches you about breathing. The panic teaches you about calm. You don't learn to swim by staying on the shore reading about it. You learn by getting in the water, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you're afraid, even when you don't do it perfectly. While all this is happening, your mind tries to understand. If I let go, I lose. If I hold on, I suffer. So, what am I supposed to do? What's the answer? What's the formula? And here's the answer that hurts you and frees you at the same time. You're not here to control the ocean. You're here to learn to surf. You're not going to predict every wave. You can't control when they'll come, how big they'll be, or which direction they'll move. You can only prepare to stay on your feet when they arrive, or to fall with grace and get up again. And preparation in this case isn't about gripping tighter. It's the complete opposite. Preparation for letting go is being present for your life even when things don't turn out as you expected, even when the outcome has nothing to do with what you wanted, even when people disappoint you, even when the timing feels wrong. Still, you're present, not with desperation, but with presence. Breathing before reacting impulsively. That space between stimulus and response, that's where your power lives. That pause where you feel the urge to send the anxious message, to make the controlling demand, to force the conversation, and you choose to wait, breathe, trust. Releasing the need to have the last word. Accepting that some arguments don't need to be won, some points don't need to be proven, some conversations can end without resolution. And that's okay. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Accepting that some answers won't arrive on your timeline. This might be the hardest part, because you want to know now. You want clarity now. You want resolution now. But life operates on its own schedule. And sometimes the answer is not yet. Sometimes the answer is wait. Sometimes the answer is, I'm not ready to give you that information because you're not ready to receive it in a way that serves you. And accepting that without falling into anxiety or desperation, that's advanced trust. Doing your part without demanding the outcome matches your expectations. You give your best. You're present with integrity. You act from love instead of fear. You give your effort, your care, your authenticity. And then you release attachment to a specific outcome. This doesn't mean you don't care about the outcome. It means you care more about who you're becoming in the process than whether you get exactly what you thought you wanted. Maybe you haven't given yourself credit for this. Maybe you think, I don't know how to let go, because you still feel fear, jealousy, control, anxiety. But feeling those things doesn't mean you're failing at detachment. It means you're human. The practice isn't about not feeling. It's about not letting those feelings run your life. It's about feeling the fear and choosing to trust anyway, feeling the urge to control and choosing to let go anyway, feeling the anxiety and choosing to be present anyway. Look more closely at your own path. How many times have you already loosened your grip? How many moments did you trust, even while afraid? How many times did you decide not to force, not to push, not to beg, not to manipulate, even when everything in you wanted to? Even when you felt like letting go meant losing. Even when trusting felt terrifying. That counts. Every time counts. That's part of the learning. That's evidence that you're already changing, even when it doesn't feel like enough. Let me remind you of something important. Every person you admire, everyone who seems calm, aligned, in flow, went through exactly what you're going through. That moment when you realize controlling everything is impossible, but you still feel afraid to release control. That moment of being on the edge, knowing you need to jump, but feeling paralyzed. They didn't feel less fear than you. They weren't born with a special gene that made trusting easy. They didn't have fewer reasons to be afraid. They simply stopped letting fear make the decisions. They shifted from anxiety-based decisions to soft, trusting decisions. I do the best I can, and what I can't control, I let flow. That's the only difference between you and them right now. They crossed the threshold of letting go. You're right at the door, and you cross this threshold not with one big dramatic leap, not with sudden enlightenment, not with a perfect moment of clarity. You cross it with small daily acts of trust, with micro decisions, with small choices repeated over and over, until they become your new normal. There's something most people misunderstand about letting go. Detachment isn't preparation for living, it is living. The moment you start to let go, to stop monitoring everything, to trust you're not living life alone, that's the moment you begin to feel life, really feel it, not the controlled, managed, predicted version, the real, wild, unpredictable, beautiful version. When you control, you survive. You get through it, you manage it, you cope with it. But when you trust, you live, you experience, you feel, you grow, you become. The periods when you're learning to let go, when you're confused, doubting, trying again, failing, starting over, are the periods when you grow the most. Yet they're the ones you most want to escape. You think, I want to get to the part where I'm completely detached, calm, enlightened, where nothing bothers me anymore. But what transforms you isn't the destination. It's this messy process you're in right now. This version of you that feels fear and still chooses to trust, that feels the urge to control and still loosens one finger at a time, that doubts and still tries. This is the version building the next one. This is the version doing the real work, not the future version that already has it all figured out. This one, now, in the mess. in the uncertainty, in the practice. And I know that as you're listening to this, something is resonating in a very specific place inside you. Maybe it's a confirmation of something you already knew, but hadn't allowed yourself to fully feel. Or maybe it's the first time someone has put into words what you've been living in silence. If this message is touching that exact place where you are now, where you can't keep going on autopilot and don't yet know what's coming, I want to invite you to do something. Leave one word in the comments. One word that represents what you're ready to let go of. Not for me, not for anyone else, but for yourself. As a silent declaration of this moment. As a marker that you were here, at this point in your life, and decided not to go back to sleep. It could be control, it could be fear, it could be approval, it could be past. The word that comes first is the right one. And if you feel this type of content is arriving exactly when you need it, if you want to keep accompanying this process that's already begun inside you, stay close. Subscribe, not as an obligation, but as a natural continuation of a path you're already walking. Because this isn't the only video you're going to need in this process. And when you're ready for the next level of depth, I want you to be able to find it. Now, let's continue. You asked for a sign. Maybe you've been asking for one for a while. You wanted confirmation that you're on the right path, some external validation that you're doing it right, that it's working, that everything will be okay. The truth is the sign was never something external. It's not approval, validation, a mystical message, or a perfect result falling into your lap. The sign is this: you're still here. You're still open to learning to let go. You're still trying to trust more than fear. You're still willing to question your patterns, challenge your control, consider a different way. If this message resonated with you, if a part of you breathed a little deeper reading it, if something inside you said, yes, this is what I needed to hear, that's the universe's response. Yes, keep going. You're not alone. You're not lost. You're exactly where you need to be. A phrase for you to keep, comment, write, repeat. I choose to trust and let go. No explanations, no justifying it to anyone, just those words. When you declare that, you'll shift from gripping mode to flowing mode. You'll stop living this battle privately in your head and make it a conscious choice, a daily practice, a way of being. Before we end, remember this. You're not behind. You haven't lost time. You haven't missed your chance. You're not late. You're not broken. You're not too anxious. You're not losing anything by loosening your grip. You're not irresponsible for trusting. You're not naive for hoping. You're exactly where you need to be to learn what you need to learn. That life was never about controlling the ocean, but about learning to dance with the waves. What's meant for you isn't fragile. It doesn't depend on your anxiety to exist. It doesn't need your constant monitoring to stay alive. It only needs you to be present, with more open hands and a heart less busy predicting the future. The right people will stay. The right opportunities will come. The right path will reveal itself. Not because you forced it, but because you were ready, because you were open, because you trusted. The path doesn't appear all at once for those who try to master everything. It reveals itself step by step for those who keep walking without needing the complete map. So, keep moving forward, keep doing your part. Keep choosing to trust a little more than fear. Keep loosening your grip, one finger at a time. Keep breathing before reacting. Keep showing up without demanding specific results. You're not lost. You're simply learning to let go. And that's how everything that's meant for you begins to find you. Not when you're gripping tighter, not when you're controlling more, but when you're open, present, and trusting enough to receive it.